I was 5 days old when I was given my first official name, Huang Yang. Given by the director of the orphanage I am adopted from in China. And then, 1.5 years later, I was given a new name, Shanna, by my Dutch parents who came to adopt me. So, let me explain. Today, I want to share with you the story behind my Chinese name, where it comes from, what it means, and what it means to me. So, my Chinese name, Huang Yang was not given by my parents, but by the director of the orphanage I am adopted from. You see, I was found near the banks of the Yangtze river in China and brought to this orphanage when I was 5 days old. And here I grew up the first 1.5 years of my life, until my Dutch parents came to adopt me. In China, you first mention your surname and then your first name. So Huang is my Chinese surname, and in China, names always have a specific meaning. Also in China, many people share the same surname. It's not like in the Western world where you have an abundance of different surnames. So my surname, Huang, can be traced back almost 4,000 years ago and has historical roots. It refers to Huang Di, the legendary yellow emperor. The character Huang means yellow in Chinese. And this color symbolizes royalty, wealth, earth, and prosperity in Chinese traditional culture. It is said that the Emperor Huang Di is one of the ancestors of Chinese civilization, and that his descendants adopted this surname to honor him. There are around 30 to 33 million people in China who share this surname Huang, making it the 7th most common surname in China. And globally, it's said that around 35 to 40 million people also share this surname, including variants like Wang in Cantonese used in Macau or Hong Kong or other overseas Chinese, Huang used in Korea, Huang and Ying in Vietnam, sorry for my pronunciation, and also Ang Wei Wu Bong in other places in Southeast Asia. Again, sorry for my pronunciation. And the funny thing is, I recently found my biological family in China, and I discovered that my birth dad also has this surname Huang. So coincidentally, my orphanage chose the right surname for me. And I'm not sure if it all means that around 30 to 33 million people or even more are somehow related to me. But still, I think it's so interesting to learn about this, to learn about my surname and the historical context and the cultural context. And as for my first Chinese names, which are Yangtze, I never really got a chance to ask the director of the orphanage why she chose these names, and I never really learned the meaning of it. And when my Dutch parents came to China to officially adopt me, they actually chose to use my Chinese name as my second name, so my second official name. So my first names in my passport are Shanna Yangtze. And I'm very grateful for my parents that they did not get rid of this part of me, of my Chinese name. But the funny thing is, I never in my whole life used to be called out by this name, and I never really used this name, my Chinese name. It was all up until I found my birth family last year that I was mentioned by this name. And the first time this happened was actually my Chinese dad calling me out by this name. And I remember he was shouting, "Yangtze!" and I was just confused and looking backwards, who is he talking to? Only to realize he was talking to me. At first it felt weird, and I really had to get used to people mentioning me by this Chinese name. Slowly I am embracing this part of me and my name and what it stands for. So what does it really mean? I recently discovered that Yangtze has 2 different meanings, and in China many first names consist of 2 characters, and each character have their own specific meaning. In the Western world, many names don't really have a specific meaning, like my Dutch name Shanna. When my Dutch parents came to adopt me, they chose Shanna because they thought it sounded nice. But it doesn't really stand for anything. But in China, each name stands for something. Often it's a wish of the parents for what they hope their children will be and what their character will be. These 2 characters combined can have different meanings and symbolize different things. For instance, a popular name for Chinese boys is Ming Hao, which literally means bright and fast. For girls, Xiao Hua, which means little flower and translates into cute and gentle. or 美丽, which can translate into beautiful and graceful. However, for people like me who were found somewhere and brought to an orphanage, names are often associated with the place they are found. So my first two names are Yangtze, and Yang literally means a poplar tree. It can stand for growth and flexibility, because poplars are strong but they bend with the wind, so they can represent resilience. And it can also stand for strength, because a poplar has deep roots and stands firm. And I know that other adoptees from the same orphanage also had Yang in their name. And I like to think that the director chose this name Yang because we were all strong and resilient and survivors. As for D, this character literally means a dike or a bank next to a river. And I think it's safe to say that they chose this name because of my founding place, because I was found next to the banks of the Yangtze River. And together, my Chinese first name, Yangtze, means the poplar by the banks of the river, or more symbolically, strength and growth that endures and protects by the river. Compared to other Chinese people, I guess my name is unique. It's a name that tells my story and my beginning. And as I'm getting older and I'm discovering more about this part of me, my roots and my heritage, and learning more about what really happened and how I ended up as a baby at the banks of the Yangtze River, I'm slowly reclaiming my story, and my Chinese name is a part of that. So what does your name mean? Does it have a meaning? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your story too.